Have you reached a point in your tarot practice where you don't seem to be progressing? Or even worse, that you're losing your enthusiasm and suffering from burnout? Stay tuned to learn 17 ways to get your tarot mojo back. Hi everybody, I'm Sue Ellen Clayton. Welcome to my channel where we're learning how to read tarot one card at a time. Recently I was scrolling through my phone before bed and someone on Reddit asked a question about tarot burnout. Unfortunately, I was too tired to read the answer and then I couldn't find the thread. But it started me thinking about how burnout could be a problem, whether you are a hobbyist or a professional tarot reader. And I wanted to share some suggestions about how to avoid burnout, or if you're already there, rekindle your love of tarot. I will be using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and there is a link below. I haven't reached the point of burnout in tarot, but I faced it in my freelance writing career and eventually decided to quit. So, unfortunately, I have a lot of experience with this issue, and it's not a nice place to be. I'm hoping that this video will help you to avoid burnout, or if you're already there, to get your tarot mojo back. Beware that not all of these strategies will work for you, and some of them are contradictory. Pick and choose what makes sense for you. If you're interested in a guidebook containing all of this information, you can download it from a link in the comments. So here are the 17 things you can do. Number 1, analyze the cause. The first thing to do is to try to figure out why you're in a slump. Are you exhausted from work? Are you stressed out about current events? Are you having financial problems? Is your loved one sick? Are you sick? Are you in the midst of moving? Are you spending all of your free time dealing with the insurance company because your basement flooded? Are you planning a wedding? Did you just get out of a romantic relationship and feel like you've lost your North Star? You get the idea. There is a lot going on in our lives and tarot is only part of it. However, if you can figure out why you're feeling burnt out with tarot, it gives you a path to move forward. If you're in the midst of moving and spending all your free time packing boxes, you might just need to accept that it's time for a break and you will pick up tarot again when the move is over. If you've just ended a relationship, it's okay to take some time off to grieve. Number 2, take a break. One of my favorite books is Play On, The Science of Elite Performance at Any Age by Jeff Bercovici. Basically, what he discovered is that rest is important, and athletes who take rest seriously don't get injured nearly as much as athletes who keep pushing themselves, and that leads to longer careers. Much as we'd like to believe that we should be productive 24/7, that is simply not true. Especially if tarot is a hobby, give yourself permission to put away the cards for a while and do something else that is totally unrelated to tarot. Breaks are okay and even healthy. Number 3 is to practice self-care. None of us would expect our cars to run smoothly if they were out of gas, missing oil, or had no air in the tires. Yet we don't often treat our bodies with the same respect. You already know the ingredients of self-care. Eat healthy, stay hydrated, exercise, take your vitamins, and get enough sleep. I know that my enthusiasm level plummets when I'm not taking good care of myself, and I'm pretty sure yours might too. Number 4 is return to what works. If you've recovered from a funk before, think about what energized you in the past. Was it getting more sleep? Taking long walks in nature? Visiting your mom? Baking bread? Sitting on the couch and watching reality TV? Going sailing? Decluttering your closet? Reading romance novels? Or indulging in a hobby? Choose something that you find nourishing and enjoyable. If it helped in the past, it will likely help now. Number 5 is to rethink your goals. Tarot can be a lifelong pursuit and there will always be more to learn, so take the pressure off yourself. If you plan to take a deep dive into a card every week, make it every month. If you plan to become familiar with a new deck every month, decide that it's fine to stick with your trusty old Rider-Waite-Smith deck. If you vowed to do a reading for yourself every day, cut that back to weekends. I'm very goal-oriented and know that cutting back on your goals can be painful. However, this is under your control and taking the pressure off yourself might be just what you need to regain your enthusiasm. You've made it this far in the video and I wanted to stop and ask for a favor if you're not already a subscriber, and that is to please hit the subscribe button. It is free for you, and it will also help me to grow this channel. Plus, it means that you won't miss anything. Thanks so much, and if you're already a subscriber, I truly appreciate your ongoing support. Now let's get back to the video. Number 6 is to try a new deck. I remember when my kids were young and would watch the same Disney movie over and over and over. There were points when I thought I'd lose my mind and crave something, anything new. That might be the case with your deck. You're bored with the images and you're ready for something new. Find a new deck that appeals to you, ideally something that is very different than what you're using now. Hopefully you'll discover that a new deck can be very energizing. Number 7 is to change your scenery. Are you doing your readings in your family room like I do? Try moving to the kitchen table or your bedroom. Or go outdoors and do your reading on your balcony or in a park. Or head to a Starbucks and enjoy a fancy beverage while you're doing your reading. If you're able, take a mini vacation away from your home. I recently watched a Hallmark movie about a blocked artist who was so focused on getting her own big city art show that she was so completely blocked that she couldn't paint. Luckily, her family owned a ski lodge, and of course it was Christmas time, and she ended up teaching art to kids. The change of scenery and focus rekindled a love of her art. And because it's a Hallmark movie, she also fell in love. Now, you might not be lucky enough to have a family who owns a ski lodge in the mountain, but you might be able to rent an Airbnb by the beach for a few days for a change of scenery. Number 8, declutter your workspace. I've been interested in feng shui for a long time. If you're not familiar with the term, it's an ancient Chinese practice, and one aspect is about creating an environment that supports your needs. The premise is that clutter disrupts the flow of energy in your home and can lead to you feeling unmotivated, stressed, anxious, and lethargic. I know this is true for me, and a good decluttering can really boost my energy. Number 9 is to change your schedule. Switch things up by changing when you do your readings. If you normally do them first thing in the morning, as I do, try doing your readings after lunch or before bed. The fact that you are more or less tired may be helpful. Number 10 is to learn something tarot adjacent. I'm not a sports fan, so I struggle to use sports analogy, but I'm going to try. Let's say we have a figure skater who breaks her ankle and can't skate for a year while she is healing. She has a couple of choices. She can wallow in self-pity and spend the next year sitting on her couch, watching Golden Girls reruns and eating potato chips. Or she can figure out what she can do that will ultimately move her career forward. That might be watching videos of herself or her competitors, or learning about physiology so she can better understand her body, or working with a psychologist to get over some issues that have held her back in competition, or focusing on upper body exercises. All of these would be beneficial, and when she is ready to return to figure skating, she'll have some new insight and skills. The same is true with tarot. You recognize that you are exhausted doing readings and accept that you need a break. What can you do that would enhance your readings when you are willing to go back? Perhaps you could learn related skills such as astrology or numerology. Maybe you could learn about the history of tarot so that you have a deeper understanding of the cards. Or you could learn meditation so that you are more deeply connected to your body and your intuition. Or you could finally start that tarot journal that you've been planning to do but never found the time for. These will all be beneficial when you're ready to start reading again. Number 11 is to learn a new aspect of tarot. Learning tarot is overwhelming, and if you're like me, you started off with general readings. Maybe it's time to learn how to do financial readings, career readings, health readings, or love and relationship readings. You might also want to learn how to read tarot intuitively, how to provide spiritual guidance, or how to forecast events in the future. If you're performing email readings, maybe it's time to figure out how to do readings on Zoom. These are all specific skills that will enhance your tarot readings and hopefully create some excitement along the way. Number 12 is to have fun. I study tarot by reading books and taking notes. That works for me, but it's not particularly high on the fun scale. Think of how you could approach your tarot practice with less seriousness. Switch to a silly deck. Buy a tarot coloring book and color each card. Draw your own tarot deck. Assign funny names to the major arcana cards. Randomly pick 3 court cards and write a play about what would happen if the King of Cups found his wife, the Queen of Pentacles, in bed with the Knight of Wands. Do what you can to cultivate a less serious approach. Number 13 is to do more. Figure out what part of tarot you enjoy most and do more of that. For instance, you love reading for family and friends, but you get very stressed out reading for strangers. Decide that it's time to focus on reading for people you know and nix reading for strangers for a while. Number 14 is to do less. Figure out what part of tarot you dislike most and do less of that. For instance, you love conducting readings, but you feel like you need more education. However, you really despise reading about tarot. You'd rather learn by doing. That's fine. You don't have a teacher who is marking you on what you're reading. Ditch the reading material and focus on doing readings. Number 15 is to trust your intuition. I'm guessing that you might have had warning signs that you were starting to burn out on tarot but chose to ignore them. Perhaps you told yourself that tarot is a hobby and nobody gets burnt out on a hobby. Or that your mentor has been reading tarot for 35 years and never taken a day off, and yet you've only been at it for 8 months, so there's no way you need a break already. We're all different. Listen to your intuition and course correct before it becomes a bigger issue. I can share my experience with this. For the last many months, I've been doing a deep dive into 3 tarot cards per month. I choose the tarot cards at the beginning of the month. Then for the next 30 days, I journal about them, meditate about them, and answer questions from one of my tarot books. This has been an amazing practice that I look forward to, and I've mentioned it in a few of my videos. And then last week, I looked at the 3 cards I'd chosen for the month and realized that I didn't want to do it anymore. I decided that I wanted to go back to pulling 3 random cards every day. And guess what? The first day, 2 of the 3 cards I picked were ones that I'd been studying already, so I think Spirit was determined that I was going to study those cards regardless. Sometimes it is hard to follow your intuition. In my case, I'd already made many videos recommending this practice, so I felt guilty stopping. But what would have happened if I continued on this path for another year until I finished studying the entire deck? I'm sure I would have become very unhappy and likely faced some version of burnout. All of our tarot practices will grow and change. Learning to follow my intuition was more important than continuing a practice that I stopped enjoying. Number 16 is to set boundaries. Figure out how you can keep tarot as part of your life in a manageable way. For instance, rather than studying 3 cards a day, which took me about 45 minutes, you could pull 1 card every morning and look at it for 60 seconds. That's it. No journaling or researching. Just 1 minute of looking at a card, and then you don't have to do anything tarot related for the rest of the day. Or maybe you're doing readings for friends, which you enjoy, and you've become so popular that you're getting round-the-clock texts requesting readings. Set a boundary by limiting your readings to Sunday afternoons between 1 and 3, and tell your friends that they need to make an appointment. Or perhaps you subscribe to a bunch of tarot channels on YouTube and save them up for a Saturday afternoon study session. Yet there's 15 hours worth of videos every week and there's no way you can get through them. Set a boundary that you'll spend 2 hours watching videos, and that's it. There'll be new ones next week. And the final suggestion is to pull some tarot cards. Ask the tarot cards how you can get over your burnout. I decided to use the 3-card spread to answer the question, how do I get over my tarot burnout? And I used a spread to do this, not that, and give me advice. For do this, I chose the 5 of Pentacles. For not that, I chose the 10 of Swords reversed. And for advice, I drew the 4 of Pentacles. So what did this teach me? For do this, I drew the 5 of Pentacles. I felt like this is a message about perseverance and looking for a new way of approaching a problem. This is such a miserable card when the 2 people are clearly cold and forced to walk barefoot into the wind and through the snow. They are alone, as well as physically and emotionally exhausted, yet there is warmth and light in the church window to their left. I think the message is that, even though I feel completely depleted, I need to look for new alternatives about how I am approaching tarot. There is a warm and comfortable community waiting for me. I just need to look around and find it. For not that, which is what I should not do, I drew the 10 of Swords reversed. I found this a little puzzling. The Ten of Swords reversed is about the end of a difficult cycle. Rock bottom is over. The swords, which usually represent thoughts, are falling away, and it is a time of starting anew. So why would I not want to do this? Once again, I had to spend quite a bit of time staring at the cards. I realized that another meaning of the Ten of Swords reversed is about resisting change. Maybe I don't want to try any of the strategies that I've mentioned on this video. I'm okay in my burnt out state. I want to stay there for a while and have a pity party. I believe the message is that I should not resist making changes. I should follow some of the suggestions in the video. And for advice, I drew the Four of Pentacles. I think there are a few things that I can learn from this card. I need to take care of myself. I must protect myself by setting boundaries and conserving my energy. Secondly, this card is on a stage. I feel like this is telling me that I need to step away from the city and do some soul searching. I think a change of location would be very beneficial. Finally, I need to take care of all things related to Pentacles, health, wealth, and home. I need to make sure that I'm managing my money and taking care of my health. I think that it's also important to do some decluttering and make sure that I have a home environment that will support my tarot practice. So I hope that this video gave you some ideas that can help you keep from losing your excitement around tarot or regain your mojo if you're feeling a bit lost. Please leave a comment if you'd like to share what you've learned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.